Thanks for taking the time to come and read with Teddy and I. Today our book is going to be The Green Dog, written by Melinda Luke, illustrated by Jane Mannington. Thank you to Epic Books for this opportunity. Look at that! I shouted. There was something at the far end of the lake. It was green. It was swimming. My sister Lizzie shrieked, "It's a monster!" "Let's follow it," yelled my friend Bart. But the green thing was gone. "What was that?" asked Lizzie. "The monster of Emerald Lake," said Bart in a scary voice. "Actually, I think it was a dog," I said. "Oh, Teddy," said Bart, "you've got dogs on the brain." That reminds me, I'd better practice. I used my best begging voice. "Mom, Dad, may I please have a dog?" "They can't say no to that," said Bart. But they did. "A dog needs training," my mom said. "And care," said my dad. "Lots of people have dogs," I told them. "It can't be that hard." They promised to think it over. Later on I went back to the lake. I was hoping I'd see that green dog again. Instead, I saw Will Roper. Will was new in town. His job was to make sure that the lake was safe for swimming and fishing. "Hi, Teddy," said Will. "Why so gloomy?" "I asked my parents for a dog," I explained, "but they think it's too much responsibility." "Show them you can handle it," said Will. That night I thought about Will's advice. Then I had a great idea. I'd look for pet sitting jobs. That would show I was responsible. Right away I got 2 jobs. "Feed our goldfish while we go camping," said the Novaks. "Feed my ducklings while I'm on vacation," said Mr. Garrett. I started pet sitting the next day. I even brought a notebook so I could write down what I did. Very responsible. I went to the Novaks' house. Their googly-eyed goldfish gobbled up the fancy fish flakes right away. "It's gloomy in this corner," I told them. "You need some sun." I moved the goldfish bowl to a window sill. Next I fed Mr. Garrett's ducklings. "You need sun too," I said. I moved the umbrella away from their pool. Then I wrote in my notebook. My first day. Feed fish. Put bowl in sun. Feed ducks. They quacked. Moved umbrella. Every day I fed the goldfish. Every day I fed the ducklings. Every day Bart and I saw the green dog at the far end of the lake. "That dog is getting greener," said Bart. "It's weird." "I'll tell you something just as weird," I said. "The water in the goldfish bowl and the duck pool is green too." "You're kidding," said Bart. "I'm not," I told him, "but I have an idea. Water in fish bowl looks green. Water in duck pool looks green. Why?" I got 2 jars and filled one with water from the goldfish bowl. I even scraped some green stuff from the sides. Bart filled the other jar with water from the duck pool. Then we took the jars to Will. "Hey, Teddy! Hey, Bart!" said Will. "What are you doing with all that green water?" "I'm having problems with my pet sitting jobs," I told him. "These are samples from the goldfish bowl and the duck pool. Can you look at them?" "Sure," said Will. "We can compare them to some water from the lake." "The lake water looks kind of green too," I said. "Do you know why?" asked Will. Plants, I guessed." "I don't see roots or leaves," Bart said. "You're looking at green algae," said Will. "They don't have any." I grabbed my notebook. "How do you spell that?" Algae, said Will. Here, let's look at your samples under the microscope. Bart looked first. Is that ziggy-zaggy stuff green algae? He asked. Will checked and said, it sure is. Then I looked. I even drew a picture. This is how green algae looks under a microscope. What makes this stuff grow? I asked. Food. Green algae and green plants make their own, Will said. They need sunlight to do that. Sunlight, I said. I grabbed my notebook. My first day. Feed fish. Put bowl in sun. Feed ducks. They quacked. Moved umbrella. I get it, I said. The algae grew because I put the fish bowl and the duck pool in the sun. What if I put them back in the shade? I asked. They won't have an algae problem, said Will. But first, scrub out the bowl and pool and put in clean water. Case solved, Bart said. Thanks for telling us all about algae, I said. Will grinned. I'm just getting started, he said. Uh-oh, I thought. Bart had a let's go look on his face. But it was too late to leave. Will had pulled out a file marked algae. I got ready to be bored. But it was full of cool stuff. There was even a story about green polar bears. I wonder. At that moment there was a scratching noise at the door. It swung open. Check the papers on the table. Mystery at the zoo. Polar bears turn green. It's the lake monster, Bart said. That's no monster. That's my dog Molly, said Will. And she's green from the algae in the lake, I said. That's right, said Will. Wow, said Bart. Cool, I said. Green algae can make a white dog look green. Will Molly always be green? Asked Bart. No, said Will. She's about to have puppies. After that, she will stop swimming for a while and turn into a white dog again. But she'll start swimming again, I thought, and take the family. A few weeks later, when I came down to breakfast, my mum said, the Novaks and Mr. Garrett called. They said you're a very responsible pet sitter. We're both really proud of you, said Dad. Oh, and Will Roper stopped by, Mum added. He wanted to tell you that Molly is white again. Said you'd understand. I sure did. Molly must have had her puppies. Can I go over to Will's house? I asked. Can Bart come with me? Sure, said my parents. Let's all go. Come meet Molly and her puppies, said Will. Wow, I said. They are the cutest puppies I have ever seen. This one's got your name on it, Will said. He's mine? I asked. I couldn't believe it. He is, said my parents. He likes you already, said Bart. What are you going to name him? That's easy. I'm calling him Al, I said, for algae.